Hey everyone, it's Rochelle, the Right Now Coach, and I'm a writing coach who specializes in helping professionals, speakers, and coaches write books to boost their business. And I wanted to talk today a little bit about how you can take the existing content you already have and transform it into a book. So let me give you 3 ways that you can do this. First, if you have blog posts, articles, or even podcast episodes, you can transform that into a collection book. So a collection book gathers essays, interviews, newsletter articles, blog posts, just short pieces of content into a book. And a couple of examples, Martha Beck's book collects her essays from O Magazine, and it's just, listed in the order that she wrote them. So there's no special organization involved in this one. Another book that might be interesting to you is 29 Gifts by Cami Walker. This book started as a blog. She's a woman who has MS, and in the course of finding healing, she decided to give something away every day for 29 days and write about it. That became a blog and kind of a social media event, and she collected her story as well as the stories of her readers into this book. So if you have, blog posts, speeches, newsletter articles, podcast episodes, interviews of other people that are written out, take a look at what you have. Think about the themes that might work together, and that can be one of your first books for the new year. So now what if you don't have a whole collection of newsletter articles or blog posts? Don't worry. If you have given a workshop, taught a class, or written a home study course, you can collect that into a how-to book. A how-to book teaches readers how to accomplish a task, solve a problem, or understand and apply information. So it might be on something like overcoming the fear of speaking, or how to pair wine and cheese. Examples of how-to books. A colleague of mine put together this book, Secrets of Ad Agency Owners. It's a how-to book, and what it does is takes an article from probably 20 different ad agency owners and collects them together. So it's a how-to book written by a number of people, put together pretty quickly or easily. Another how-to book is my book, Write-a-thon, Write Your Book in 26 Days and Live to Tell About It. I actually collected some of my blog posts, which were all how-to oriented, came up with a structure and put it together in this book. So if you have something that you've worked on, a workshop, a list of a series of workshops. Another example is The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. This is a series of different gifts with exercises in each of them. So if you have a workshop, a self-study program, anything like that can be easily transformed into a book. So think about what you teach people how to do. Think about the things that you've taught in the past, either in person or online, and chances are you can pretty easily turn that into a book. Now you're thinking, what if I have none of that? Don't worry. If you have a speech or a popular blog post, especially one of these longer blog posts that's maybe 2,000 or 3,000 words, that can be turned into a big idea book. So a big idea book just presents a single big idea with some stories, a definition, ideas, examples, exercises, call outs. Seth Godin is really popular for writing big idea books, tiny little books with one big idea. Another example is One Small Step Can Change Your Life, The Kaizen Way by Robert Marr. And this simply talks about the fact that small steps make big change doable. And that's the whole point of the book. He could have stopped in like a paragraph, but instead he gave some ideas about how it works, who it works for, and what ways it works. But as you can see, it's a kind of tiny book. So if you have like a speech or a popular blog post where you've really dug into a single idea, you can expand that into a book. Another example is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. He really only has one idea in this book, which is the habit loop. Cue, practice, reward. And then he talks about it in 3 different contexts. And in the very end, talks about how he's applied it to his own life. Now, it's a bigger book, but he's a journalist, so we'd expect that. You can do it any way that works for you. So this would be, a big idea could typically be a 10,000 or 20,000 word book. Now, I want to give you a bonus idea, because I think some of you might be thinking, well, I don't have that much content. Well, I want you to think about the quotes, sayings, rules, riddles, prayers, anything that you've collected over the years that you could gather together and put it into something called a list book. A list book is simply a collection of items that go together. So when I loved myself enough is just a collection of little sayings that this woman said to herself when she started to accept and love herself. It's a beautiful little book and could be a really nice gift book for someone. And another example is Book Lust. Book Lust to Go, this whole series by Nancy Pearl just collects together her recommendations for books around themes. So if you have a collection of quotes or anything like that, you could put it together into a small book. You could even make it a journal so people could interact with you. So those are some ways you can easily take your existing content and make a book. If you're thinking about writing a book next year, one of the things I'm specializing in right now is helping people plan their blog or plan their content for the next year. So if you would like to think about how we can strategize together so that you write content that becomes chapters of a book, let me know. I'm at rightnowcoach.com, or you can email me at rochelle@rightnowcoach.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.